I'm here with Sian Greenway. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing just great. Thanks for asking. Big day today. As we're recording, Strange Machine is actually released on streaming platforms today, is it not?
Yeah, it's out. It's official. It's here.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, I guess in a way, glad to be part of the little celebration here. Thanks for taking the time to do this.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Let's go ahead and we'll start at the beginning here. What got you into music? What made you think, hey, singing, this is what I want to do?
So I never really took it seriously. I always enjoyed singing. My parents were both really into music when I was growing up, and their influences rubbed off on me, and music was always important to me. But I never took it seriously as a career. It is completely something that I have just fallen into, but I'm so happy that that has happened.
Any kind of particular influences that go into your style?
So like I say, with my parents, my dad was really into like 70s American punk, so things like the New York Dolls and Iggy Pop.
Oh,
So
nice.
that was a big influence on me. And then my mom was really into British sort of like softer rock, like David Bowie and Kate Bush. So those things really influenced me in getting into 70s style music. And then I live in Birmingham in the UK, which is obviously where Black Sabbath are from, and Slade and Judas Priest. So again, all of those influences just from the area that I'm in all came in. So a big 70s vibe for me is really the comfort and the heart of what I listen to. So yeah.
Sweet. Actually, yeah, my mom, I like when I was a kid, I would always go through my mom's because she would have old 70s vinyls like The Doors and some Beatles and just stuff like that. So I completely get that.
Awesome. Yeah.
And then you ended up joining Aluna around Black and Gold time. So what got you into the band?
So I had someone on my Facebook that was like a mutual friend of people that were in the band. I'd never heard of Aluna. I wasn't really big on doom metal. I like knew the bigger bands, but not really the underground scene.
Mhm.
So at the time I was a rhythm guitarist in like a pop punk band, but we were like a Mickey Mouse band. We had done no gigs. We had made like a couple of recordings, but they were bad. So
Right.
I saw that Aluna were auditioning for a singer from a post that this mutual friend had shared. And I was like, okay, let's check this out. Listen to them. I was like, okay, I can get into this. I hear some kind of, psyche 70s vibes in there. That was my jam. So I was like, fuck it, let's give it a go. I auditioned, I sent over these crappy recordings I had of me playing guitar, and I'd sang on one of the tracks. And it got me in, it got me through the door. I auditioned, walked in, learned a couple of the songs, and sang with them, and it just felt right. And that was back in 2017. So it's been almost 5 years now.
Wow, awesome. 5 years and three albums. That is freaking, that's cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just when it feels right and it just that collective energy, it kind of helps grow things grow a bit, as
Yeah.
far as, when you're working in entertainment and art and things like that. So
Mm.
that's very awesome. So as far as Violet Hour, which came out a couple years back, I kind of wanted to learn more about that because I know Dean Thrashton of Diamond Head was actually in the lineup for that album, which it's kind of no secret that you actually have a relationship with him. I'm not sure if are you married to him or.
We get married this year, actually. So Dean really stepped in and kind of like saved the band at a time that we really needed him. So we'd done Amber and Gold, and we had just been signed to Heavy Psych Sounds, and the guitarist who was married to the old singer decided to leave. And we were
Mhm.
like, shit, like we've got to record an album. I just started dating Dean at the time, so it was a big risk to
Right.
do it. But he was like, yeah, I'll do it. So he stepped in, and me and him wrote a lot of the songs together from, just obviously being together, spending a lot of time together. We changed the sound a lot from like the older Luna, because I didn't want to be a carbon copy anyway, especially if the members had changed. It needed to be an evolution of the band. It needed to be something different. We couldn't make it so we were being compared with the old sound, so it needed to be obviously progressing forward. So we changed more into a psychedelic hard rock sound rather than a traditional doom, taking away like the nature elements and going more into the hard rock kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah, so Dean obviously recorded that, and unfortunately he was way too busy with Diamond Head to be able to commit to Alunah. So after only about a year, he said, look, I need to step away, and the pandemic happened at that point anyway, so it gave us time to really look for someone properly, which is when we found Matt Noble, who has done the latest album with us.
Listening to Strange Machine, actually, I mean, it seems to be a good fit too, so I'm glad that you actually found a guitarist that can still be able to, you know, help the band move forward. So that's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
Which that answered my question as far as Dean not actually, you know, the lineup change and everything, but that's awesome. Now with the pandemic, were a lot of songs written, and as far as recording, did you decide to record Strange Machine after the pandemic, and you know, like, how did all that come about?
We did a lot during the pandemic because the wonders of the internet, thank God you can like send ideas over it. If it had been 20 years ago, it would have been a completely different situation. But, you know, Matt and me sent ideas back and forth. I can record vocals from home. So we did a couple of demos. So by the time we were able to all meet up, we had really solid ideas. And we were able to like really form songs quickly and kind of just get them neat and tidy, ready to be recorded. And then as soon as we were all able to record, we hit that studio. We had Chris Fielding, who is in Conan, he's produced the last 4 Alunah tracks. We've gone back to him. We really like his style of working, his method of working, and the way that he produces. So yeah, we went back to him.
Wow, awesome. I didn't know that. See, as far as like the lyrical content or of that nature with Strange Machine, how does it differ from albums like Violet Hour or Black and Gold?
Yeah, I think with Strange Machine, I had more time. When we did Violet Hour, it was rushed, but I'm still super proud of it. And it's the first, because Amber and Gold was an EP, and then Violet Hour was the first full album I've ever done. So it was like a jumping off point, really. And then Strange Machine, I had more time, and you know, I decided to make it more personal and make it more of my personality. So I'm not gonna lie, Strange Machine is a fucking wacky album. It is really varied. Some of the songs are completely nonsensical, and then some of the songs are really personal to me, because obviously we were going through a pandemic. And then I've got the song like The Earth Spins, which is literally like, what is the point of anything? And then I've got like Psychedelic Expressway, which is about taking hallucinogenics. So you've got like different experiences that we were going through during the pandemic that I decided to take and write about.
Believe me, I think through the pandemic, I think just about everybody kind of went through that whole entire existential life, you know, discussion with themselves.
Yeah.
So actually, it was pretty different for us with the pandemic, because like my wife and I, we rarely go out anyway. So with us, I mean, it's like usually the same stores were open anyway, like the essential stores. So with us, it wasn't really that much different, besides we had to put masks on when we went out. So, you know, we stay at home all the time anyway. So
that's a blessing in a way, then, I guess. I mean, I'm pretty much like a bit of a hermit anyway. So, but it was different because I want the choice. Like, I wanted the choice to be mine. So if I stay in, I don't want someone else to be telling me you have to stay in. So for me, it was like a feeling of being trapped.
Seems to be that's what a lot of people seem to felt like, you know, the longer that it went on, and the restrictions and everything like that. I mean, it you know, I can understand it was needed for, you know, the particular time, but then when things ease up a bit, I guess it's all about timing. So
sure, and we're coming out the other side of it now, so it's all good.
yeah, you did a show recently, and you have a few other shows lined up now that you know, things are easing up, people are going out and everything. Yeah, you want to tell us about that?
Yeah, so we just did a tour supporting Paradise Lost around the UK. It had been postponed for 2 years, and then when it came around, I was concerned because you don't know if people are going to be coming out to shows because a lot of people are still conscious, but it was busy. It was amazing. The atmosphere was awesome. Supporting such a legendary band as well was just obviously really great. So after that was fantastic. Then we had a support tour with Rosalie Cunningham of the band Person, but unfortunately I got COVID during that, and Rosalie also got ill, so all of that had been postponed. But it's okay because next week we are back out. We have a support show in Nottingham, and then next Saturday we've got a headline show in our hometown of Birmingham, and then the week after that we play Desert Fest in London, which is like a really big like stoner doom rock festival, which I mean, I think you guys have one in America. There's like a New York one. There's ones all around Europe. So it's like a really prestigious thing to be a part of. So we're really looking forward to that.
Also, as far as touring, is there any plans as far as like a full scale like Euro tour, or even possibly like doing a few dates in America?
We would absolutely love to. And, you know, we were only talking yesterday about doing a headline tour in Europe, but it's really complicated because we have Brexit now. So everything is so much more expensive because it's so much harder to get into Europe. So we're trying. All I can say for that is we're trying. As for the US, if anyone out there wants to sponsor us and give us some money to come over, we are willing. But, you know, it's not, you know,
yeah,
it's not possible right now financially, but you know, you never know what's in store in the future. Hopefully it's in the stars for us.
yeah, hopefully so. I would throw my hat in for Psycho Las Vegas at least, because people from bands from all around the world, that's the big one here.
Yeah.
So I know some of the subject matter and some of the songs are kind of occult related. So is that something that you're really into? Or I know sometimes a lot of people say that based off movies or some TV show or something, or that's just something that they really do. But so, like, what is the influence as far as any kind of occult lyricism for Alunah?
I think maybe it just comes out of me naturally as being a bit. I think I just kind of have like this natural witchy vibe that I give off, but as in regards to it being any kind of religion, I don't follow paganism as such. I find it interesting. And I appreciate, obviously, like all the nature elements of it, and especially like English paganism, I do find really interesting. I was born on May 1st, which is Beltane, which is the start of the summer solstice, which is always like a really interesting one. And I find it quite magical. It is quite interesting. But in regards to me taking lyrics seriously in a pagan sense, no, not really, but I can understand why people would interpret them that way.
I mean, like with songs like Lake of Fire of that nature, it's just that seems to be kind of like the mood that gets set for some far something like that goes. But yeah, it's interesting because people that like the ordinary person that might listen to something like that, they always try to think like that. Oh my God, it's like this some kind of band like it's they like sit in robes around the pentagram doing rituals, and it's just like, dude, it ain't even nothing like that, man. For real. It's a fascinating thing, and it's me. I don't practice organized religion myself, but I love looking up occult and spells and the history, and there's so much enrichment to it that
It's super
just gets
interesting.
so overlooked.
Yeah, I find it really interesting. Also, I really appreciate like the aesthetic of it. Like I always think it looks really cool. And there's something, there's something with the occult and with metal, and it just works together. It just goes hand in hand.
Oh yeah, exactly. No matter how much of a bad rep both get together, but
Yeah.
most definitely. But at the same time, what else could bring the rebels out of us like freaking rock and metal,
Exactly.
Yeah. Off the topic of music a little bit, you actually do photography, do you not?
I do. It's more of a hobby than anything because just having the time to like take it seriously is hard. I was doing a lot of gig photography before the pandemic, and that is something that I would love to get back into. But yeah, I just really enjoy it. I don't really know what got me into it, but I remember the first time I properly picked up my camera, I just randomly went out and I started taking pictures of things. And it was so interesting because it made me look at the world in a completely different way. And it's so hard to describe, but I had feelings that I hadn't experienced before. And having discovering new feelings as an adult is a really bizarre concept, but it was amazing. It was such a fulfilling feeling. So I do recommend, people get yourself a cheap camera, go out and take pictures of nature, and it is just a really magical, interesting feeling, especially in the summer, because you've got, when the sun's out and all the flowers are out and everything, it's just wonderful.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Like where I live, because I kind of live in like rural Georgia, like in the middle of nowhere. Trust me, I'm not like all the other assholes in Georgia, um, but it's just like I said, there's like 3 houses that live on the road I do, and they're not close. So it's like I go out and walk my dogs, which I got like 6 dogs I walk, and so one after another, and for like a good hour, it's just I'm walking down the street. There's just nothing but woods on both sides. There's this one house that I go by, and this is really a fascinating thing. It's like I go by, and in front of the house is just big, huge field, and there's no trees above. The skyline is freaking perfect, and there's a white female horse. I'm guessing she's retired. That just kind of just hangs around in there. I call her Shy because I'll always walk by and wave at her, and she'll kind of look at me and then go on with her things. So I call her Shy Girl or Shy, and so this morning actually, because I mean I would walk by and I just take my phone and just take pictures. I'll have to
Yeah.
send you a couple. They're really nice.
I love that
So
stuff. There's something peaceful about it, especially when there's no one else around, when it's just kind of you in the moment and you're not distracted by like the daily grind and, social media or just other people's problems. And you can just focus on something that's just natural, and it's so peaceful.
oh yeah. Well, here, check this out though. So this morning I'm walking I'm walking my dog Pepper, and Shy is like right on the fence by the road, like just like right there. And this was like our first time. Like in 2 years, she has never been that close to the road, like by the fence or anything. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to take a chance on this. So I walk Pepper up to the fence, okay, and she kind of just like looks up and then swings her head over the fence because it's just like a 2-tier barbed wire fence.
Mm.
Swings her head over the fence to where she's like maybe 2 inches from mine, and then I just like gently pet her and talk to her a little bit, and she's looking right at me, and it was just so peaceful and so freaking like because
And
I've
there's
never like pet a horse or like that before.
Yeah, there's something really nice about that as well when an animal like trusts you. It's a really special
Mhm.
moment. I'm a big animal person. Like I love animals. And yeah, like if you walk past a field and a horse comes up to me, I feel like I've won. I'm like, yes, this animal trusts me enough to come and want to be touched by me. So yeah, that's a
Oh
little win.
yeah. Exactly. So it's like 2 years of walking by and paying, waving at her just finally
Yeah,
paid off. So that was just God, amazing.
nice.
So we'll go ahead and we'll let you get back to celebrating settling down from a hard day and everything like that. And we'll definitely touch base again sometime, hopefully.
Yeah, thank you so much. And everyone that's listening, Strange Machine is out now on Heavy Psych Sounds Records. So please support us, go and listen, stream. And if you can afford to, buy. And I hope to see people at shows in the future.
Almost definitely. And for those listening, I bought a vinyl like on pre-order and everything from Alunah, and it's awesome. Just the variant and everything. It's worth the money to buy it. Trust me.
Yeah.
Well, we'll go ahead and let you go. Congratulations again on the release. Yeah, we'll talk again sometime. Thank you.
Thank you so much.